Yes.
Okay, so for starters, there's something wrong with the connectivity between this box and the one that the database is on. So I still wasn't able to fix the script with the get table script. I wasn't able to fix that method, but this is on the same box. So if I come down here, all the way down here, I've got get table script here. And so there isn't a connectivity problem because I'm on the same box. But you can see now that I get the table script. Now I can use that to look up a column or, create a temp table, anything I need. There you go, just to prove to you that it does work. All right, so there we go. Nope. And of course, we could put some error handling in there that says, hey, can't do this or can't do that, or hey, this is null or that's null or something like that, right? We could do some of that troubleshooting ahead of time to let you know what you need to do. So, like, let's say that we forget to set one of these guys, and we call this without this, right? Then let's say we have an overload, a default overload for, no parameters, and we forget to set these guys. Then we could, the first thing that we do inside of the method could be to check for it and say, hey, you need to set this first, right? Or even to prompt you for it. So there are a number of things we could do that would sophisticate this and make it more user-friendly. All right, but for now, let's take a look at what you guys have done with your homework. Who wants to go first?
I can go.
Okay, I will stop sharing and let you share.
I need to figure out where can I share the screen.
Oh, you know what? I think I need to give you...
I got it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, most excellent, dude.
Yeah. Let me know once you're able to see it.
I am.
How can I minimize this guy out? Oops.
Do like I do. Just move it to another screen.
I only have one. All right. Okay. So yeah. So before we have the help query function. It's a similar class that you have shown us. So I got that running. I'll just say run that. Currently, I'm getting the data from one of the tables that we earlier worked on to get the backup history. So I queried that table, and we are able to get that. Now,
okay.
I wrote a function. Let me open the newer one. Control help, right? So I just ran this. The function is all about that. I kind of put the properties of the class as a argument or methods as a parameter for that functions to run or examples of it. So if nothing is given, it will take all. I gave a couple of names for properties. Someone might give properties, someone give props, methods, met, all, full examples.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, if nothing was passed, so everything will be printed.
Very nice.
If you pass props, we get the properties.
Lovely.
Third for maths. Yeah, we get the methods.
Yellow's a nice touch.
Example. Yeah, hello. I mean, sorry, the examples.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
So something that'll make this easier for you. Go back. So right there in 42, where you've got methods or module or meth, right? You can cut that down with regex and just say where matches meth?
Comma, at full. Is that?
Yeah. So
Okay.
where match meth, and then they can misspell method. They could say methods. They could do anything as long as it matches meth. It'll be golden.
Right. Okay, will do. So how do I pass that for multiple parameters like this? I also need to give something like full and all.
What do you mean? How do you pass multiple parameters?
Okay, if someone wants to give full, the match. Okay, here. Okay.
Not math. Match. There you go.
Match. Yeah.
There you go.
A fat finger.
Oh, I see.
I'm not fat.
So you want to say match meth? No. Take one of those out.
Only one should.
Yeah. Because as far as I know, you can't spell method without meth, right?
Yep.
So, nope, meth. That's going to match method. It's going to match meth. It's going to match methods, whether it's spelled right or not.
Right, yeah.
Right? So what the match operator does, remember, that's the same thing as saying, in SQL, saying like percent meth percent.
Right.
And I would just say, and on that top one, I would just say prop, not props.
Yeah. Okay.
Because now they can say property, properties, prop, all of those. So it's a good catch-all, right?
Awesome. Yeah, got it.
So let's see what you're passing in. Show me the top again.
Yeah. I have given the validate set. If someone gives other than this one, it will fail.
Right. So yeah, let's take the validate set out, because now we've got now down below we're accounting for misspellings and whatnot, right? So it doesn't do us any good to say match prop and somebody misspells properties if it's in a validation set that you can't misspell it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is in 23, we're saying I want you to match prop. But if they say props or property or properties, right? If they misspell it somehow, if they fat finger it, we still accept that in line 23, right? But we don't accept it in line 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, while the validation is good for some things, I think it might be a little overkill.
Okay.
But yeah, that's looking good.
Then I can just remove this one as well. False, etc.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, perfect. That's fine. Now, as far as formatting goes, I'm being really nitpicky here. If you look over on the left in your yellow, you've got help for SQL, for class SQL query examples to call methods, but those two headings run together, right? I would either put some space in there, or I would put a line or two in there between the two headings, and then I would maybe make the heading for the methods a little smaller, or maybe even use something other than a star to really differentiate that this is a completely different section. But that's being very nitpicky. This is your help system, so do what you want. But
yeah,
right?
I understand.
Okay.
Just to differentiate, I get it. Yep.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, that looks really good, man. So V, let's get on to you. You had something else?
I have something to ask. Yeah. How can I call that function from the class? I tried, but I think I'm doing it in the wrong way. So I thought I would have some help from you.
Okay. Let me see what you've tried.
So I tried to create another method, and inside the method, I'm trying to call that function with the options that we provide to the method
Okay.
and return whatever the help that we got here.
Okay. Tell you what, let's do where's options being created? Where's it being filled?
When we actually instantialize this method from the class.
Your instant.
Nope, I gave it wrong. Okay, I need to do this one as well.
Okay, so there's the instantiation. Help query SQL. That's just your flat out method call, right?
Yep.
No. It's not. Okay, let me see your method again.
It's here.
Right there. Done. Okay, so get table data, string, or helps options, return this help equals that, and help query SQL. So I'm looking for, right. So in line 78, that call's not right. Right. All you need to do is call the method. Right. So first of all, you're instantiating SQL call after you call get help. Right. Let's do this simply, because you're kind of doing it twice. So in 82, let's just say SQL call dot help query SQL.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
And pass it all, I suppose.
Yeah.
There you go. And get rid of 78.
Yeah, I'll just remove
There
that
you
totally.
go. Now, query SQL is the name of the function. Inside the class itself, you can just say help. Right? You don't have to call it help query SQL. You can just say SQL call.help. You can just name the method help.
Yep. Okay.
If you want to. But I can also see an argument for matching them up as well, right? So so it's whatever you like. But I'm always for as little typing as possible.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I thought about it, but I might get confused, or who else might see this get confused, because there are too many helps over here. So just to differentiate between
the thing is, there aren't too many helps, right? Because right now we already know that that you're calling help for SQL call, right? I'm just saying, you can do what you want. It's your class.
Right. Okay. I'll just make it easier.
There, now make sure it still works, because you don't want to do something stupid.
Run container method help. Wow, it's here.
Oh, we changed that.
But not here.
Yeah, you did. You changed that, so I think you have to reload. I think you have to reload. Just run the whole thing again, one more time.
I actually did it. Done.
Okay, so yeah, I think you have to reload PowerShell.
Okay. Let me open it another way.
Sure, you can do it that way.
Easier.
Yeah.
Nope. Does not contain method help. It's here.
Yeah, there's a specific way you have to reload it when you have to reload it somehow when you change something. Let me look up what that specific way is because yeah, there's this very specific thing. It gets caught in the cache. Is there a way to reload the? Is there a way to reload the command window in here? I don't know much about ISE. I use other editors.
Neither. I can run it in normal PowerShell.
Let's see what happens.
Oh, but we might need to again. Okay. Give this one all and the last, so it will be easier.
Oh no, never mind. Ah.
Come on. Come
Right.
on.
Huh.
So method invocation failed because query SQL does not contain the method help. Oops.
Okay. Well, we'll troubleshoot that in a little while.
Yep.
I'm sure it's something really, really simple because we can see that it does. Okay. Let's move on to V now.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, so I have actually not written all the comments and all. I just made the structure like how my help functions and
Sure.
methods will be. Yeah, so I'll just share that. Is it visible?
Not yet. There we go.
Not yet. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so kind of I made this function that is help SQL class, and it it will be like based on the input that we provide, it will display the text, right? So the module, if it's all, and if the module like get table data or then based on the condition, it will display the string. Now, this function, I have saved it as help function.ps1. So I just dot source that over here in my class, in my parent class. So help function.ps1, so that I can use it anywhere in the class right now. And then there is one method that is help SQL class. Again, the method name is same as of what we have a function. Right, so the method is very simple. There are two overloads of the method as of now. I have created two overloads. So first is void, and sorry, both are void, and one is without any arguments and one is with the module argument. And without any, if we call it without any arguments, it passes all to the function and it will call the function. And if we pass any module, any specific module, then it will pass that module to the function. And the function just takes that argument and checks it, and then it displays the string.
Yep.
So I called this methods, and in different ways. Like I called only the function from the class, right at end of the class. That is working fine. Then I called the method help SQL class, SQL call dot help SQL class with get table data, and with all and without any arguments. Three different calls. and all three are working fine.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that's what I have done. Right now, the script is, it is just creating an object SQL call, and next thing it is doing is it's calling this method with get table data as argument. So I'll just run that. Mm, okay, so it's calling that function internally, and whatever written in there, right? It's just displaying it. It's This is the thing it's displaying. This entire string plus this string, this two strings. It's the output is.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what I've done. The help content is yet to be done. I need to write the content in
Right.
detail.
Yeah, and you're going to
Yeah.
find that that's everybody considers that to be like the worst job on the planet is creating help
Right.
or creating docs.
Yes.
But I look at it
Yeah.
as an opportunity to really shine and really show what my code can do. Right.
Right.
Um, I put sections in there to highlight things and say, like at the top, you could say like, functionalities or shortcomings or something like that, right? You could, known bugs or something like that. But you could have this bulleted list at the very top of the class that says exactly what it can do for you, right? Features, bam,
Right.
bam, 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 and just give them an overview of something like that. And if there's like interplay between two properties or two methods or something like that, then you can use that opportunity to explain. If you use this, then you have to have this also, or these are the acceptable values for these guys, something like that, right? So uh, I really use that as an opportunity to like explain to somebody how much hard work I've put into this and why they should really like it. Right? So don't look at it as a boring task. Look at it as, I've gone out of my way to make this as user friendly and powerful as I can. And here's what it's going to do for you. And you'll appreciate that.
Right.
And you'll appreciate that in 3 months when you have no idea what the hell you coded.
Right.
But
Um, I have one question. Uh, like how we have method overload, right? So we have anything in function that I would
function
not say
overloads?
function overload.
No.
Yeah, but something like we call the function with different arguments, and is it possible?
Yeah,
No.
wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, it would
um,
be actually.
so functions respect, and that's another difference between functions and methods, right? Is you
Uh,
don't have overloads, but you can fake it like you can in SQL with defaults, right? So if you have a
okay.
function, you can give default values to those guys, and then inside you check if this is null, then do this. If that's null, then do that. So on, right? Like you've already done, right? But methods don't respect
Mm.
defaults for their parameters, which is one of the reasons why you have to have overloads.
Oh, okay. So you are saying here we have given null. That is a default that we are giving, and likewise we can do it for multiple
Parameter.
parameters.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So you
Yes.
treat it like it's an SP or a function in SQL, right? Right, it has its defaults, and then you can work around, you can fake overloads that way.
Right. Right. Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to take this back over, and we're going to streamline a little bit more. Good. I learned my lesson last time. It's this screen. Okay. Are we up yet?
Yeah,
Can
we could see that. We can see that. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so streamlining this guy. This is part of the design aspect of classes, and one of these is, of course, like it is in any other thing. You don't want to repeat code as much as possible. You don't want to repeat code. So you'll see. I hope this is the right version of this. Yeah, that I've got all of these guys in here, all these new methods. I'm just going to close up these guys. There we go. So I've got all those new methods, and these are to help streamline. So I've got get table data, and I'm going to have bulk insert, and I'm going to have execute non-SQL query, and I'm going to have what's the one for execute scalar SQL, right? Stuff like that. So there are different there are different classes for calling different types of queries in SQL, right? So get table data returns it returns a table data collection, right? Execute non-SQL query only returns a result code, right? A return code, because that's for things like inserts and deletes that don't really update anything, right? They don't really return anything. They just give you a result of pass or fail or whatever, right? So that's clearly going to be different than getting table data. And then there's the execute scalar, which is like, you know, if you want to return a single value like add server name, right? That is a single data point that you're pulling back if you just want to look up one thing and then get that back. It lets you do that. So there are different types of, and of course then there's the bulk copy like down here. So there are these different types of SQL operations you can do, and you can make this, you know, you'll sophisticate this as you go along and see what your needs are. But what this does is, you notice how inside get table data, I've got this adapter fill, connection create, connection close, adapter row count, right? So instead of duplicating this stuff everywhere, let's look at connection create. Hopefully it's still in here. There we go. So connection create, it's just what it says. It does everything to create a connection. Why? Because in every single one of those SQL methods, we're going to need to create a connection. Well, what if we need to set some properties for that connection? Right? What if we need to change something? What if we change the way that we're gonna create the SQL connection in some way other than just adding properties to it, right? Changing some of the properties of SQL command or SQL client, right? So here you've got a method that you've created that will put all of that stuff in a single call for the entire class. And now I just call that guy and pass it the query, and I'm going to create a connection to the SQL based off of that query. And of course, all the way at the top, I've added, I think I have, if this is the right one, connection create. So this, okay. Yeah, so, and you know, since it's a method inside here, sorry, I went crazy for a second. I call it with this connection create, and it's going to create a connection for this whole instantiation of the class, right? Because everything we do is based off of this instantiation. Just think of that, right? I want to drive that home to you, because you could have 3 of these classes instantiated inside a script at any given time, and you can go between them all, right? So to do that, I've got this guy, and that's where some of these other things are really starting to come into form, right? With having the class for the connection string already, because inside of here, I'm using this .con string, right? And this .con client. So I'm using these things that are now global to this instantiation of the class. So now when I have to create a connection, let me get rid of that. Even if it's in SQL non-query, I think I have this one worked out. Instead of all of this, I've now got just this, right? So I haven't moved this one over to it yet. And you know, the significance of that is really a lot deeper than that, because now you've got a method is basically a function inside of a class, right? So now you've got a function that does a specific thing, and this function does a specific thing. It gets the table data. It doesn't need to be setting up the connection and all of that stuff. We'll leave that for this guy, right? So it also keeps your methods cleaner. So you don't have to go through all of this code to troubleshoot. You can just, you know, okay, I skip over this. I know what that does. I know what that does. I know what that does. And again, it gives you that testing layer that we're talking about so often. Because now, if I need to, I can test this layer specifically, right? I can test the connection create. If there's a problem with it, without having to do a whole bunch of other stuff around it, I can just test that. Again and again and again and again. And even as an automated test, which we haven't even come close to talking about yet. So you'll see here that I've got one for creating the adapter and filling the adapter. And this one's important because now I get all that try-catch stuff out of there, right? And for the row count, so I'm going to get the row count, and it just gets the row count. And then it sets it to the property, right? It sets the property to the row count. So again, these properties being global to the class really comes in handy, because I can set this. I don't have to worry about a return value. I set this, and then I can just grab that from any other method in the class or any other property even. So good stuff there. So I want to ask you though, I've got connection close here, and it's just got a single line in it. Why would I do something like that? Because close is close, right? I mean, why would I want to just put a single line inside of a method if the method call is going to be a single line, and this is a single line, and I've got to call this method for every connection I close? What's the point of doing this?
By to keep everything the same way, standard.
Okay, a standard V.
To make sure we are closing the right connection.
Well, I could put that line, this dot client con dot close, in every method. So the answer is Prashant is partially right. Yes, definitely. To keep everything the same, right? Because it's a good idea. But two, it's got one line in it now, but I may decide later on that I've got other housekeeping to do. And that goes with the close, right? So I may want to add more code to this in the future. So it's kind of a placeholder for not having to completely rewrite my class, in 3 months when I decide I need to do something else when I close a connection. And, now I just add it there and everybody gets it. Isn't that grand?
Yes.
So, again, that's the, hold on one sec. Again, that's our fire hazard, right? We want a fire hazard when we code. One way in, one way out, right? And so when we close, we've got one way for everybody to close. You understand the whole fire hazard thing, right?
Yeah.
Because a building with only one entrance, with only one entrance or one exit is a fire hazard because people are going to burn to death trying to get out. So, but here it's not burning to death, right? Here it's burning to life. Ah. Okay. So, and I've clearly set these guys as hidden, which means they don't show up in the method list when I pull a GM on this. And that's because, clearly, nobody should ever need to call these guys by themselves, right? These are internal to the class, right? Nobody ever needs to call these on their own. You're not going to instantiate this class and then call adapter create. You're just not going to, right? So there's no point in muddling up the get member information with these guys because you could have 3 dozen of these guys by the time you're done. So there's just no point in muddying up the waters with classes that you're not going to call anyway. So I made them hidden. Now, if you know they're there, you can call them. It doesn't do anything to prevent you from calling them. It just doesn't show you that they're there. So, yeah, go ahead and call connection close on your own if you want to. Whatever. I mean, okay, but it's not going to get you anywhere really, right? So I made these guys hidden just to show that they're, and I could even put these guys, in a separate section and put a nice big header here and say hidden methods and then explain why they're hidden, right? Just for myself if I wanted to. But, I think it's pretty self-explanatory once you get into this a little bit. And so I was going to spend some time here showing you how I put together my help. But Prashant did a pretty good job, and I would like to say you did a good job, V, but I haven't seen enough of it yet to be able to say. So, but I think you guys get it. Let's see here. But here I did the same thing. I got help module, and I just call the help worker. And if I can get there. And then I just start setting these different things like that. So I haven't done, but you see how I've got match meth. And I've got one here that is null, right? So I just use that to call help worker with all, and I think you both covered that really well. So you guys are definitely getting the hang of this, and hopefully we're going to be able to write some more classes together as well. I don't know if they'll all be filmed, but maybe we'll just film the highlights or something like that, right? And then my function down here does the exact same thing. I set it to null by default, and then I just pull in everything I need to pull in. So yeah, everything's really good. You guys are coming along really nicely. Do y'all have anything else before I turn off the recording and we go? Nope. Good. I'll take your silence as acquiescence.